Tonight, our Week 13 Monday Night Football matchup features Trevor Lawrence and the AFC South leading Jaguars hosting Jamar Chase and a desperate Bengals team looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes, with Peyton and Eli once again on ESPN2. Time to check in at the Domino's pregame headquarters where Lisa Salters is standing by. Of course, as always, she's on the call for tonight. Lisa, you can't win a Lombardi trophy in December, but that doesn't mean there isn't a championship on the line tonight in Jacksonville. What do you know about a sibling rivalry and a gaudy gold trophy at stake in this one?
Yeah, Laura, you remember a couple weeks ago, we were there. We had Travis and Jason Kelce playing each other. And now this week, Zach and Press Taylor headlined the latest edition of When Brothers Collide. Bengals head coach Zach Taylor will be going up against his brother Press, who is the Jaguars offensive coordinator. The brothers' NFL teams have gone head-to-head 4 times so far, something that stresses out their mom, Julie, because she never wants to see either son lose. But for their dad, Sherwood, this week is another opportunity to dust off the old Taylor Bro trophy that he had made in 2017. He said because of the amount of trash talking in the Taylor family that now even includes the grandkids, a trophy to keep up with bragging rights seemed appropriate. So he went to a local trophy shop, asked for the biggest, cheapest trophy that he could get, and the Taylor Bro trophy was born. In case you want to keep score at home, Laura, in the 4 times the Taylor brothers have faced each other, Press has 2 wins, Zach has 1, and their most recent meeting in 2020 ended in a tie, which Mom Julie says everyone can blame on her because it's what she prayed for.
That's incredible. I cannot wait to see the handing out of that Taylor Brothers trophy. Thanks to Lisa. We'll see you tonight on the broadcast.
It doesn't travel.
Oh, it doesn't? Where is it?
It doesn't travel, Laura.
Where does it stay?
The trophy doesn't travel. It just stays in Sherwood's office.
Okay, well, you know what? Sherwood deserves that, okay? He's the reason why those 2 boys are there, as well as Julie. RC, over under 240.5 passing yards for Trevor Lawrence tonight.
I'm going to go over for Trevor Lawrence, and he's playing against a Cincinnati Bengals secondary that has given up some yardage on the back end when you look at what they did against the Kenny Pickett-led Pittsburgh Steelers last week. But Trevor Lawrence playing at such a high level, so many guys to get the football to, such versatility in their skill sets. He finds the right matchups, gets the football out of his hands, and he's been great these last few weeks. I expect to see him shine again tonight. Yeah,
with Joe Burrow done for the year, I'm sure the Bengals would love to get their run game going. Over under 46.5 rush yards for Joe Mixon tonight.
You know what? I'm going over. Listen, if you want to win the Taylor Bros trophy, you have to be intelligent. And if I'm Zach Taylor, that starts with Joe Mixon, giving Jake Browning an opportunity to get a run game going so we can get into play action. When you look at when this team was ascending, even with Joe Burrow at the quarterback position, it was because Joe Mixon and his physicality in the run game, they need to start there tonight to even have a chance against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The defensive Josh Allen for Jacksonville has been tearing it up of late. 5 sacks in his last 4 games. Does he record a sack tonight, RC?
Absolutely. This dude has become a closer. He's one of the best rushers in football. Some of that athleticism we saw coming out of Kentucky that made him such a high draft pick, it's now turning into production. And with the way that you get an opportunity to rush against the Cincinnati Bengals, I expect him to be in the backfield early and often and be a thorn in the side of Jake Browning the entire night.
All right, the Manning Cast returns tonight over on ESPN2. Check out the lineups of guests. It's headlined by Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who we'll see next week on Monday Night Football. All right, with a win tonight, the Jaguars would be tied with the Dolphins and Ravens for the best record in the AFC. ESPN Analytics gives the Jags a 19% chance to get the top seed in the AFC behind Miami and Baltimore, both around 30%. But Jacksonville controls its own destiny when it comes to the top seed in the AFC, with a big matchup against the Ravens looming in just a couple weeks. So crazy to think about Jacksonville controlling its own destiny this late in the season. It's been fun to watch them this year. What do you want to see from them tonight, though, RC?
Well, when you look at Jacksonville, I want to see them continue to be exactly who they are. This is a team that coming into the season, we asked, was it going to be Calvin Ridley? Would Calvin Ridley take Trevor Lawrence to the next level? And it hasn't necessarily been that. They've ingratiated him into who they are as a team offensively, but they use Christian Kirk. They get the football to Evan Ingram. Travis Etienne has become a touchdown scoring machine. And this is a team that can attack you in any way that they find the matchup. And I think that's what's made Trevor Lawrence so dangerous this year. We're now starting to see him show that talent that made him a #1 overall pick, and the competitiveness is coming out to me. And when you see the way that this team plays offense and now finish this game defensively with a young core, this is going to be a tough team to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, for Cincinnati to stay in this game, they need to have a better plan defensively than Marcus does with his tie. Y'all see Marcus's tie is like halfway down his chest.
It's
like
a
little
ratio
man tie.
of tie to body.
Yeah, his tie is too short.
Okay.
They need to have a good plan for
Hey,
empty.
it's big man balling and little tie falling.
Exactly.
Don't trip on my dog. He clean out here today.
Jacksonville does such a good job of getting into empty and kind of identifying the coverage beforehand. And we all know this. Like Lou Anarumo always does a great job of figuring out like your one or two go-to formations or personnels and trying to minimize them. So how often he tries to fool some of the coverages. Do they drop an 8th defender in coverage? Does he try to show man and play zone or vice versa, zone to man? I think that is the paramount thing that's going to be needed. Jacksonville's the better football team, but if they can get that empty personnel package to just play a little bit slower, the ball won't come out of Trevor's hands as quickly. I do think that gives their rush a chance.
Yeah, with the Bengals side, just the more chaotic I think they can be on defense, which is something Lou Anarumo does well, the better for them to have a chance, because this is not a good pass defense. And on the other side of the football, it's a passing attack that's really only come into its own over the last couple of weeks as Lawrence has pushed the ball downfield more. They've called more longer developing pass plays. They've trusted the protection, and it has responded in kind. If I'm the Jags, I keep the foot on the gas pedal. This is the time to continue what you've been stacking with these offensive performances against a very weak pass defense. Do not let up just because of the inferiority of the competition.
Let's get our game picks in here, you guys, because once again, the NFL Live curse could be alive and well, but I don't know. We're all in the Jags. I was going to try to pick the Bengals.
It's not.
Yeah, listen,
We're right.
if we're wrong, we'll admit it.
We're
Marcus,
right.
why do you think the Jags get a win tonight?
I think it's going to be a Travis Etienne night. I think he's the one guy on this offense that makes everything go. And you can see his comfort level with Trevor Lawrence, but his run after catch, like we saw last night with San Francisco, I think is going to be critical in this game.